what does these three signs that Yeshua had shown us in the heavens, what do they really mean? The Roman helmet was the ancient hat that the Roman Empire soldiers actually wore, and it's very distinct in the way that it looks on the top. It looks like it has some kind of a like the comb of a rooster on top of it. What does it really represent? The Roman Empire was the political power that we saw in Nebuchadnezzar's dream, that was the legs of iron. And with an iron fist and with great power, they controlled all their subjects. But this also referred to, which we saw later became the Holy Roman Empire, through which the Pope, in a religious way, started controlling his subjects, the kings of the world, and all the other parts, people in the kingdom. So thus this hat represents he who will control like a Roman with an iron fist, but he would be have someone behind him that is the religious power. The next sign that appeared is the snake that swallowed his own tail. This sign is a very familiar sign that refers to the secret societies. It is one of the signs of Freemasonry. And also there are many different secret societies that in these days exist in the world, which many people think does not exist. Just by a little bit of a search, I found this picture on a website which is for Freemasonry. What does a snake really represent? It represents Satan, but it also represents a snake that swallows his own tail. It is as if the one is put against the other. In Freemasonry, there is a principle which we call the thesis and the antithesis. A thesis is if you have a problem in a country or a situation in an organization that you want to overthrow or you want to get control of, you create an opposite problem that would cause the two to clash with one another. We have seen this all over the world, and we have not even realized that these things were actually set up through secret societies. But we will see even further how Yeshua confirms it, and how we will confirm that all the presidents in the world since the time of the creation of the United Nations have been part of Freemasonry and have been in secret societies. But this very symbol does not originate only from there. It came all the way back from the time of the Roman Empire, when the religion, actually the whole idea was developed already, and how to play two different and opposite poles off against one another. Another secret society that we will look at, which is also very important for our discussion, is a secret society called the Bilderberger Group. And we will see how this is one of the most influential people, or all the influential people in the world together, that have an influence in the world. The next sign that appeared, which we said looks like the cross on the Crusaders' shields, is what we call a Rosicrucian cross. The real meaning of the Rosicrucian cross comes very far back. It comes from Henry, who saw this sign in the heavens, and he heard, "By this sign conquer." And that is where the Crusaders actually had their development. But what was the purpose of the Crusaders, and where did they come from, and why were they created? The reason the Crusaders was created was to protect the interest of the Roman Catholic Church. What had happened was, whenever the Roman Catholic Church started losing power or had to institute its power in a new region or wanted to extend its area of influence, it started using the crusaders to do their military work for them. The sign that we have, which I found here, it says in Latin, Ordo Supremus Militaris Templi Hierosolimitani, which basically means the military order, the supreme military order of the temple hierarchy, which is, this very symbol came from a Jesuit site. And we will look at what is the Jesuits, and do they exist today, and what are they doing today. The Jesuits, another name for them is the Order of Jesus, or the Order of the Temple. The other sign that we saw was Satan falling down from heaven on earth. And we will see how God has caused Satan to lose his power at the cross. But he still had power that he was delegated to him. Although he was cast out of the third heaven, or lost his ability in the third heaven, he still had access to the third heaven. But he mainly stayed in the second heaven. And what Yeshua is saying, when Satan is cast out, that is out of the second heaven, he will lose his position there, and he will enter a man. The whole of Freemasonry is actually a religion. It is a faith and a belief that is very perverse and twisted, and uses and say that Christianity is twisted and it is the original religion. I did some research and I found the most interesting article that proves that Freemasonry actually is nothing else but a step-by-step entrance into a temple which they, and in their place, use as their lodge, with a checkerboard floor, as they enter step by step through their temple, going in just like the temple of Solomon. And the whole religion of Freemasonry is based on Solomon's temple, not according to the Bible, but according to their faith and their myth, which Satan has perverted the truth. How a man will enter behind the veil and go into the Holy of Holies, and then finally find out that there is a throne that is empty, and he himself will go and sit on this throne. We will see what Paul said, how the Antichrist, he will call himself God, and he will go sit in the temple of God saying that he is God. All these signs and more are actually based on satanic principles of the ancient religion of Babylon. When the Tower of Babel was built, and its architect being Nimrod, it had occultic practices that was practiced, which later was changed when Nimrod was killed by one of Noah's sons. And what happened was, Noah had intercourse with his mother, Semiramis, and a child was born from this union, and they called this son Tammuz. And it's written about Tammuz in the book of Ezekiel, and we do not have time to go into all these things. Later, these names were changed to Isis, Horus, and Seth, which became a satanic triangle. It became a satanic trinity, how Satan tried to set up his trinity on earth. But each one of these organizations, both Freemasonry as well as the Jesuits, are based and exist today and are satanic organizations.